All right, so I'm recording. It says I have 36% here, so I've wasted a percent trying to get my life and mug together before I get on here. Auntie it's dry, so trying to make sure that I follow my own advice and put on lotion and a little bit of chapstick, so I'm not out here being a crusty hypocrite. Hi, how are you guys? I want to start by saying, welcome back. This is the Auntie's Tired podcast with your perpetually tired and semi-crusty auntie. Okay, welcome back to the Auntie's Tired podcast. I'm your auntie niece. This treacherously dirty thing today is still Tink. We've been through a lot this week, so after I get off of here, I've got some multi-purpose cleaner here. I got some paper towels. I'm about to pull the vacuum out the house. I got to detail Tink. She's been abused. When you have children, let me explain something to you. When you have children, them little creatures, unhinged. I have been saying this, the toddlers are some of the most unhinged people, but you know what? Big kids are too. Big kids are unhinged. Big kids are unhinged. I don't know if you can see this, but there's definitely something on my glasses. So I'm going to put y'all down for a second so I can investigate. That's weird. But that's what this is for. All right. And then y'all immediately go yellow because these have some sort of a blue light blocker shit in them. I guess it only works if I'm actually wearing my glasses. Go figure. Oh boy. So I don't do well with tie-ins and transitions from intro to subject matter. So we're just going to say today's episode is about a touchy, dodgy sort of subject. And I put sort of there because it is, but I don't want to, shove it down your throat. Kind of want to ease in, a little Vaseline first. But the subject matter today is, when is depression and not a social media trend for attention? So I guess I'm going to call this one depression, real or not. Depression is some shit, okay? And again, I like to speak from my own experiences. So, don't compare and try to contrast and all that other shit. How you deal with shit and how I deal with shit and how everybody else deals with shit isn't going to be the same. It isn't going to be the same. But I will say this. I've found, especially with TikTok, I found a pretty disturbing trend of people who use mental illness as a means of gaining followers and attention. And as someone who struggles with this and knows lots of people that struggle with it, you almost feel like you can't call it out on the off chance that it is real. So I sit back and I wonder, that's like those people that, are always upset on Facebook or always have something negative to say on Facebook. Like, you always look at them and like, bitch, you're never happy. Why are you never happy? You find the negatives in everything. I always peep those people that are always crying the loudest. And I'm like, either nobody fucks with you because this is why, or you're actually really fucked up and you need to seek help. Depression is real. It is now something that I don't feel is as taboo even when I was younger. Because I was told that, therapy and depression, that shit was white people shit. And even at a younger age, I'm trying to figure out, when is shit defined by race? This is some mental illness shit. These are some fucking dark ass struggles. And you want to tell me because my skin is not the correct color, that it doesn't match the fucking narrative, that somehow that completely just, invalidates my entire fucking struggle. Or you hear it all the time, especially, there's so many black kids that can relate to this. They're struggling with fucking depression and anxiety and everything else. It's starting to get hot in here. And everything else. And somebody tells you that you got to pray your way through it. Look, I am a praying woman, okay? I am. And even as a praying woman, I can tell you that is some dismissive ass shit. All you gotta do is pray your way through it. Bitch, what? What? And the thing is, y'all offer up solutions that people have already tried. You don't think that folks that struggle with this shit haven't already tried praying and pleading? There's something is truly wrong in their mind, whether it's chemical or whether it's, a situation or external. So even if it's internal or external, it's still depression. Its origin is just unknown. And its origin isn't any of our business, right? I hated that so much for so many black people when they were growing up that struggled with it. You always hit with, you better go depress them dishes. You better go depress that room. Just say you don't know how to handle it and then get them the help they need. That's why you have so many emotionally inept people running around here, because when they did reach out at their most vulnerable moment, they were shunned or told to, you better pray it out, or you better go depress them dishes. Depress these nuts is what you do. Depress these nuts, because that is some dismissive ass shit. Some of y'all be so ready to fix instead of just listen. Sometimes people aren't even looking for solutions. Sometimes they just want somebody to listen to them so they don't think that they're fucking crazy. Or that somebody can hear what's going on up here and they don't feel judged. Because some of y'all motherfuckers, yeah, I'm going there today. Some of you motherfuckers have friends that are depressed or family members that are depressed, right? Like genuinely clinically depressed. We're not talking about the girl that keeps taking her fucking baby daddy back on Facebook. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm going to kill myself just to get attention from him. We're not talking about that shit. We are talking about people who are genuinely fucked up in these streets mentally. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about pleas for attention, cries for attention. We are talking about cries for help that have gone unheard. Like it is, nigga, what? I don't know what. People are literally offing themselves because they don't feel like there's any other way to end their suffering. It is a mental jungle gym, and for some people, they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then you have people using it for attention, to get likes and views. And then they're perpetually sad. Comments, everybody sharing comments. Oh, today I felt like this and today I felt like that. And then it all just breeds this big, nasty, depressed puddle. Some real, some fake, and some people just literally trolling for attention. None of which helps the person that is reaching out for said help. It doesn't help. Sometimes people may need that push to go get help. Some people may be afraid to get help. Some people don't think that they can be helped. But I'm here to tell you, as a person that has struggled with this off and on, who has beat it and then been defeated by it, just to beat it again, it's a cycle, baby. I'm here to tell you that you're never too fucked up to go get help. You're never too fucked up to go get help. You're not. I don't care what anybody tells you. Somebody loves your ass, just so you know. All right. There are levels to this shit, and I know that we're all aware that I say it all the time, there's levels to everything. There's a level that leads to here, that steps down to there, that steps over there, that goes all the way across, back around. A squared plus B squared equals C squared times the power of motherfucking Lysol, nigga. There's levels to shit. And with depression, it is very complex. But I hate to see people's struggles and validate it down to being called a fucking snowflake, because you have people who are using that as a fucking ploy for attention, for likes, for clicks, for comments. Feigning illnesses that they don't have. Like, what the fuck? I'm just, I think I'm neurodivergent because I don't like the sound of fucking doors slamming. Why don't you like the sound of doors slamming? Because they're loud. Do you like fireworks? Yeah. Concerts? Yeah. Bitch, get the fuck out my face. And that's just a really loose example. Everybody wants everything to be a mental fucking illness, except for the people who are actually mentally fucking ill. People that are actually struggling with depression don't want to be depressed. Y'all want to be depressed. Y'all want to be autistic. Y'all want to be neurodivergent. Y'all want to be bipolar. And he loves me. He knows my bipolar ass. Your bipolar ass? Bitch, oh, okay, look, I put my glasses on, I have to take them off because I already feel myself getting mad. That shit is not cute. It is not cute to sit there and talk about how crazy you are because a nigga pissed you off. That shit ain't cute. I don't know who told y'all that shit was, but it's not cute. It's tacky, is what it is. And you really need to stop it. That shit's not cute. That shit is not cute. Y'all have the mustiest fucking mentalities about shit. I'm crazy. He knows I'm bipolar. Whole time you're not even bipolar. Whole time you're not even crazy. You're just fucking entitled. You're just fucking spoiled. And you think that because your behavior is one way that it justifies it being another. No, it doesn't. Get some fucking accountability and shut the fuck up. Because I'm telling you now, people that are actually mentally ill, people that struggle with bipolar disorder, people that have fucking PPD, some people have fucking postpartum psychosis, some people are schizophrenic, some people are actually fucking depressed, some people have a combination of these things, don't want these combinations of things because it makes their life difficult. The quality of their life is difficult. And you have people making jokes out of the shit for attention. I don't get that shit. This shit is not cute. It's not funny. There are people out here who are struggling with fucking PTSD. You know I got PTSD. Why? You can't even give a legitimate reason. None of you have ever been fucking diagnosed. You just claim shit because it gets you the attention that you so desperately seek, when in reality you need to go sit your ass in a corner somewhere. There are people out here who are losing their battle with this shit every single fucking day. And you motherfuckers make light work of the shit. You make jokes of the shit. You claim the shit when you really don't have it. It's not a badge of fucking honor to be fucking depressed. It's not a badge of fucking honor to feel like you are outside of yourself. It's not a badge of fucking honor to struggle to get out of the bed every day. It's not a badge of fucking honor to feel like you can't even get up and wash your ass. Couple that with people who have children that have to really, really struggle to just, if you have to struggle to fucking live because you are fighting your own brain. I'm sorry that people think this shit is a joke. Or is this something that they can claim for likes and views? Likes and views are going to get some of y'all fucked up. I would like to view some of y'all getting y'all asses whooped for this shit. It's weird. Like, I worked with a motherfucker one time. And this motherfucker just always knew, or had always had a story that was supposed to outside or outdo someone else's story. That shit is weird to me too. Because let's just say we're having a conversation. Well, you know, my such and such died and it was like this and it was like that. And if a person is venting to someone else and you come in and you interject your shit, I understand that some people are like that because they feel like that's how they're supposed to relate. But there are some people who literally feel like that they have to use their sad to get more attention than the person that is venting or talking. Shut the fuck up and wait your turn. That's kind of how I feel about it. Or if you were not invited in this space that this person is venting in, then you need to excuse your motherfucking self, because maybe they didn't invite you to that space that they're venting in because maybe they don't trust you because they see how you handle everything. You make everything about yourself. Shut the fuck up. I cannot stand that shit. I cannot stand that shit for the life of me. Somebody's always got to out sad and outdo this, and I'm just more this and I'm just more that, or try being like this or try being like that. You got your own struggle, and I'm truly sorry that you do. But when you start weaponizing your fucking struggle, whether it's real or not, whether you start, either way it goes, if you start weaponizing that shit, something is fucking wrong with you. You're selfish and or possibly narcissistic, because we know them motherfuckers can't differentiate their asshole from the elbow. As long as it's theirs and it's about them, they don't give a fuck. But the people that are truly struggling with this shit, I can only imagine how their struggle and their journey through trying to overcome it feels cheapened by watching this bullshit. And I'm a big proponent of, hey, if you don't like something, turn it off. But when it becomes a trend, where depression has become a trend amongst a certain sect of TikTok culture, it's just, it's dumb. We've gone from a point of where people didn't talk about it. It was hush hush, swept under the rug. Or motherfuckers, you said you was touched. You touched upstairs. Now I'm not touched upstairs, bitch, I'm sad. And I don't understand why my sad is so fucking intense. Like, fuck you mean, you raggedy bitches. So my thing is this. There are so many different levels to fucking with depression and dealing with it and navigating it. And it gets compounded while all the extra shit from the outside. It does. You have people that have had death after death after death and didn't get a chance to process one before the next one came, and couldn't process that one, or the one before the third one came. And then they couldn't process 1, 2, 3, and then 4 came. Then could process as 4, 3, 2, 1. Couldn't do, nothing ever changed. Nothing ever stopped long enough for those things to happen. You have people that are recovering from abuse, from spouses, from parents, from jobs, from just dealing with people, friendships, situationships, whatever you want to do it, external shit. And then you have the people that are dealing with the internal shit, where they'll be cool one minute and then all of a sudden a wave of sadness hits them and they don't even know where the fuck it came from. And then they got your mealy mouth ass on TikTok or Facebook. I'm just so sad today. Shake my Starbucks cup. Those are the girls that used to come to school with their hospital band still on for fucking attention. That's what it's giving. It's giving that. Hold on, let's see here. Good enough. Look, Auntie's got the dirty setup today. Tank needs to be clean. I ran out of light earlier. It's daylight savings time here, even though we didn't do that shit before 2005. We got Nasty Mike here. The Nasty Mike setup. But what I'm saying is, mental illness is not something to be played with, because it literally is life or death for some people. I don't like the men/women, because it's both, who will say, I'm so depressed after not getting their way about something, and then weaponizing their life and existence to manipulate the mind of the person or persons or entity that they want to feel bad for them for not giving them their fucking way. You need your ass whooped. I don't condone violence, but sometimes I be looking like, I don't condone violence, but some of that shit, it makes my blood boil. You got people that are out here who are struggling with things like addiction and falling in and out of that shit. That shit can make depression worse, or it can stem from depression. And that depression has an origin point too. It's so much shit that goes into it just for it to be cheapened or for you to be called names by a motherfucker who low-key probably is, but was told that being sad isn't a man thing. You better suck that shit up because men don't cry. Men have tear ducts, but they're not for tears. They're just for lubricating your dry ass eyes. You better suck that shit up and quit acting like a girl. I never knew that tear ducts were fucking gender specific, sex specific. Never knew that. Never fucking knew that. You just taught me something. Science. Like, and then again, the levels. You have people in your own families that, because I don't know what it was, but especially with my community, I can't speak for anybody else, but hearing that therapy and depression were white people shit is some wild ass shit. That's crazy. That's crazy. Or you telling a motherfucker that they're sensitive and the whole time they don't even want to be here on this plane. They don't even want to be here no more. They're hurting so much up here and inside that the only way that they see out is for it to stop, lights out completely. Yet that's somehow white people shit. That's not white people shit. That's y'all being miseducated on shit. Or excuse me, uneducated. How the fuck did you want to be? If you're ignorant to something and you don't know, it is okay to just say you don't understand. You cannot understand and still be there for somebody. I hear you. I don't know what to do, but I'm there for you. What do you need me to do? Make sure your friends that are depressed have eaten something. It sounds so fucking simple, but sometimes just even offering, hey, are you hungry? You good? You want some water? Because a lot of depressed motherfuckers be dehydrated in these streets. Water, when you don't even feel like doing shit, is a task. And again, I'm not talking about the people that are weaponizing this shit or using it for attention or using it for likes and views and clicks or using it to justify poor behavior or mistreating their friends and people, because there's some of y'all out there, there are some of y'all out there that will do all this fucked up shit to your friends and all this other shit and then turn around and be like, I was depressed. Just so you don't have to face the accountability of how you made people feel when you were not with it. And I'll say not with it because I don't necessarily want to say that wasn't the reason why, because everybody behaves differently when their brain isn't correct or when it's not normal-ish, because what the fuck is normal? Depression is not a fucking trend. Depression is illness. It's your brain being sick. Alzheimer's, dementia, brain being sick. Depression is it's your brain being sick. It's a different type of sick, but it's your brain being sick. And to have people cheapen that shit or invalidate that shit is beyond me. But then we'll turn around and realize later on that they too have also struggled with said thing. People, I will say this. I am 100% on board with the people who end up either having a change of heart or have educated themselves on something that they didn't know anything about, and they can backpedal due to the fact that I have knowledge on this now. I am no longer ignorant to this subject. So when you have those people that are educating themselves, then you need to give them the grace to apologize for their previous ignorance. Because if you're going to hold it over their head, then what's the fucking point? People gotta learn. If they're willing to learn, then let them. But don't demonize them if they were truly ignorant to what the struggle actually is. There are so many sides, but I'm going with the two parts right now. Don't allow yourself to become bitter because you came to someone that didn't truly understand, and then now that they've got some sort of clarity on the topic, you want to hold it against them, and now you're feeding your depression monster even more because now that thing has fuel to keep telling you that nobody gives a fuck about you and that nobody understands. When you have people attempting to understand, baby, you got to fight through that shit. When the rational mind sees something that that depressed part of your mind doesn't want you to see, I get it. It is a fucking war. It is. And some people lose it and it's sad. It's really fucking sad. It is. But I'm telling you, the people that give a fuck about you are going to try. And those that don't, as much as you want to hold on to it, you got to let that go. You do. Because if not, you can't heal. You can't move forward. You get hung up on why didn't they care when you got 50 other days that actually give a fuck. Depression is an irrational thing. It is an irrational monster. It is. It thrives in fucking chaos. It does. It thrives in chaos. And the more you feed it, even if it is accidental, the more it grows. And it's like having like venom. It's like that sticky substance you just can't get off your hand. No matter how much you shake the motherfucker, it's like you can't get it off your hand. I know some of y'all done been through every fucking antidepressant known to man, trying to find something that works because maybe yours is internal. Maybe it's a chemical imbalance. And then you get teased or made fun of for that. You got people out here that truly don't fucking understand. Some of y'all, and this is again me treading a very thin line here and trying not to offend, but I'm trying to keep it real. There are some of y'all that I've observed over time being a person whose mind does some weird things from time to time. Okay? And it just is what it is, right? Because I don't have no shame in the struggle that I've gone through. I don't. I used to be. I don't give a fuck no more. I don't give a fuck what you think. I really don't. Because I know that I have beat this before, and if it comes around, I got the tools to beat it again. It may take me a little longer, and I may not feel like doing it at first, but I know that my irrational mind, she's irrational for a fucking reason. She thrives in fucking chaos. But this mind here, the one that's talking to you, the one that is telling you this, knows I got every fucking thing to live for. I've been to that point before where I didn't feel like I had shit to live for. Because it just seemed like no matter what corner I turned, every door was being shut in my fucking face. I didn't do nothing to nobody. That's how I felt. And at the time, it was true. What I was going through, I didn't do nothing to nobody. I didn't. And I allowed that external shit with the already internal shit to mix and boil. And next minute, you know, motherfucker ain't eating. Because I'm just like, why the fuck do I even care? If nobody cares, why the fuck do I care? You gotta care. You got to care about you. Fuck what everybody else thinks. I'm telling you this because eventually my hope is that you will get to this point. Fuck everybody else. When you are trying to get your shit together, sometimes you do have to say fuck everybody else. You really do. I'm telling you. Now, going back to what I was going to say. I've observed over time that some of y'all niggas just be self-sabotaging yourselves into all depression. You use depression as a cop-out, when in reality, it's just laziness. And in reality, it's lack of accountability. In reality, it's just you not want to do it. In reality, it's blame shifting. A lot of y'all want to take off in the areas that you want to take off in your life, but you've allowed other distractions, drinking, smoking, doing this, doing that, putting shit up your nose, all kind of shit. Y'all have allowed other things to distract you from your main goal, whatever that could be. It could be art, it could be music, it could be culinary, it could be fucking graphic design for clothes, it could be anything. Some of y'all have wasted fucking talent because you've decided to let everything else be of importance than the one thing that does matter, which is you. And then you want to blame everybody else and then this perceived mental illness, but you're not mentally ill, you're lazy. And I said I'm treading a thin line because I know we all know somebody like that. that'll self-sabotage over and over and over again, self-sabotage their relationships and their friendships because those people around you love you enough to make you, or excuse me, hold you accountable for where you are not or where you are falling short because you've given them your vision, you've given them the idea that you want, and you want their support, and then they give you their fucking support, and then they're realizing that you're not living up to your potential, so they're holding you accountable for it, like, hey, when is this gonna get done? Hey, I know you're working on this, you need some help, and the first thing you want to do is act like a motherfucker's riding your ass. You're right, they are. You don't get to be mad at the people that you ask for support from. You're not depressed, you're lazy. It's almost fucking insulting. No, not almost. It is insulting to the people who are still doing what they can, doing what they should, building their dreams, and also fighting their fucking mind. To have to hear somebody that is just blatantly fucking lazy using depression as an excuse yet again. I tread a thin line with this because when you've gone through it and you see other people that have gone through it and they're seeing the same shit you're seeing, but nobody wants to say anything because you also don't want to make the mistake of thinking that this person is one way when they're not. It's tough. It's a tough ass fucking titty. The titty hard than the motherfucker. It's hard to break the loop of depression. It is so fucking hard. It is like a bad song on fucking repeat. It's like the movie 1408 where John Cusack is just, he thought he was out of the room. He thought he was out of the room. Told that motherfucker, you had this amount of time to be out of this room. And then after this point, don't expect nothing but all hell to break loose. That room played with his mind over and over and over again. Played with his mind. Even used his love for his deceased child against him. That's what depression is like. Shit that you cherish being ripped from you and being weaponized against you. And it's you, it's your brain. It's a part of your brain. You're literally warring with yourself. There are external things that cause it. Drinking too much. Drinking alcohol. Too much alcohol. Alcohol is literally classified as a depressant. It's a depressant. Marijuana, depressant. You motherfuckers that pop pills, depressants. A lot of y'all were caught up in partying and being high and getting drunk every weekend, and you have literally poisoned your mind. Some of y'all are struggling with addiction and don't even want to admit that it's an addiction because, oh, it's just weed. Oh, it's just this. If you can't live without it, if you can't function without it, it's become an addiction. It's become a problem. And if your brain and body goes through those withdrawals, and some of those withdrawals have the same symptoms as depression, baby, you're teeter-tottering on a thin line. You just are you crashing, coming down off of uppers. And one of the symptoms of crashing off of uppers is symptoms, depression-like symptoms. Body hurting, stomach hurting, motherfuckers out here with the shakes and shit. Feeling an overwhelming sadness when you don't have it. Some of y'all have chemically induced your fucking depression and you don't even realize it because it's under the guise of party, party, party. Let's all get wasted. Those of y'all that are my age, baby, we need to be booking doctor's appointments. If you can remember Looney Tunes, when Bugs Bunny was cross-dressing and shit, it might be time to start scheduling a workup. Get your prostate checked. If you can remember Old Country Buffet, it's probably time to start scheduling some Very, very crucial appointments. If you can remember smoking sections in buildings, if you can remember cordless house phones, the big ones, if you can remember house phones that had the dumbass, long ass cord that you could just drag the motherfucker through any room in the house and still not cross your path twice, it's probably time for some appointments. It is. It's probably time for some fucking appointments. I'm not saying any of this to piss anybody off. It's just such a weird space to be in because you can't call it. I mean, you can, but you can't. Depression's weird. Depression is strange. I'm going to say this, and I mean this with the most love in my heart. Depression makes you selfish. It does. And by selfish, I mean you think that no one gets it or no one understands. And then you start shutting people out and being mad at people for things that they may have never even actually did. You just think or you perceive because you haven't had enough time to properly process things, and you have that thing telling you lies, feeding you lies, and now you and that thing are trauma bonded. It makes you selfish. And sometimes people that genuinely care and love for you, they get exhausted because they are now fighting it with you. And sometimes, and this might not be popular, but or popular opinion, but I believe it to be true. Sometimes people don't have the capacity to keep going through the shit with you. It's hard. I know it's super hard on the motherfucker that's going through it. So by association, I got my, we'll just example, I got my friend going through it, and every time I call my friend, I'm sad, and every time I call my friend, I'm complaining. Every time I call my friend, I'm hurting, my body's tired, I'm sleepy, I can't get up, I can't do this. And at the end of the day, they start to feel kind of defeated because they can't help you. Some of y'all got to understand that you're not too fucked up for help. You're not. You're not too fucked up for help. You can't expect professional help from your friends and family. They're not therapists. They're not doctors. And as tough as this is going to hear, there is work that you have to do when battling depression. You have to make that decision on whether or not you are going to get up and fight. Even if your fight looks different each day. Sometimes it may be you getting up and doing the dishes and then going right back to bed, but the dishes are done. It may be you getting up and being like, you know what, I ain't did my hair in a couple weeks. I'm going to go do my hair real quick. And you sitting there and taking the time to give yourself that little extra bit of care by doing your hair. And then you might go back to sleep. You might get up and go to the grocery store. You might go to the park. You might walk. And little by little, the more that you do, that you take away, that attention you take away from that sticky, nasty, get off my hands, motherfucker. I believe it gets better. The less you feed it and the more you feed you. Because intrusive thoughts are a motherfucker. Motherfuckers don't like to talk about it, but it's true. I know motherfuckers have said, I was driving my car and I thought to myself, what if I just drove this bitch right off the highway? I'm like, really now? Well, you clearly didn't because we're sitting here next to each other. No, it was just one of those thoughts. And it came out of nowhere. Intrusive. Intrusive as fuck. Like if you see people joke and they're like those intrusive thoughts, one, because not all the time are intrusive thoughts so intense. I feel like little kids have fucking intrusive thoughts. Like What would happen if I jumped off this couch? Why are you jumping off the couch when you've been told not to? I'm just wondering why. I'm wondering why. What would happen if I jumped off of it? But mom already told you what's going to happen if you jump off of it. But I really want to jump off this couch. I've seen it on TV and I want to try it. Excuse me. Lunch coming up. Intrusive thoughts are a motherfucker. Those of you who are using mental illness to get attention, mental illness to guilt trip your friends and family for not giving you your fucking way, those of you who are just fucking lazy and, I've been dealing with so much, and you're not even attempting to do anything with yourself because you've gotten so used to everybody else doing everything for you. Fuck you. Disrespectfully, fuck you. Because there are people out here who have buried their children, grown, teenage, child indifferent due to the monster that is depression. There are people out here that are actively battling that shit and have almost lost their battle numerous fucking times. And you think this shit is something for TikTok? You bitches that are in fucking hospital rooms dancing while your babies are on ventilators and shit. It's like, I know everybody processes shit differently, but some shit is just highly fucking inappropriate. Oh, you can't tell people how to grieve. She obviously ain't grieving because it took her time to set the camera up, turn camera on, get in front of it, find the fucking song, and do all her weird fucking TikTok dances while her baby's sitting there struggling for breath. It's a ploy for attention. Social media makes people want that attention. And you know what? Because it's so quick and so easy, that's what it is. It's the microwave culture shit. And it's not just this new generation. It's not just all of y'all had some form of what that y'all used for attention. Setting yourself on fire, eating Tide Pods and all that stupid ass shit, ploys for attention. They're not cries for help. They're just cries for attention. But if your ass set yourself on fire on fucking TikTok, yeah, you was crying for help, all right, from the goddamn fire department. You eating Tide Pods, I might as well go throw your ass in the washing machine. I got some clothes to be clean. Bitch, laundry, soap, and Tide Pods are expensive. There are people every day that are walking around fighting a whole goddamn battle in their spirit and in their mind and in their body. And to them, to you people that are struggling, yet you're still like, okay, I got this. You do. You do got it. I believe you got it. I believe you got it. Don't listen to that shit in your head. Don't listen to that shit in your head that's telling you that don't nobody love you. Because even if you ain't got nobody around you that you feel doesn't love you, I love you. And I'm not going to argue with you about it. The fuck? I'm not arguing with you about shit. First of all, bitch, I don't argue. I love you. You struggling? You new mommies? I love y'all. My phone ring. Again, every fucking time I'm recording, this shit happens. Back to it. You new mommies that are struggling with your body, with your image, with your everything, because childbirth, carrying a child changes everything, and nobody really truly walks y'all through or tells any of us what actually happens. And then you got that culture of people, oh, snap back this and snap back and snap back these nuts. Thinking that you're not a good mommy, having these intrusive fucking thoughts. I love you. You are beautiful the way you are. Don't let nobody tell you that you're not just because your belly's stretched out. Bitch, I just carried a whole fucking life. Fuck you. What can you do? Your nutsack does that little breathy thing. Whoop-de shit. You are more than enough. To the teenagers that are struggling with themselves, I love you. Don't let nobody tell you that what you're going through isn't real or tries to make you feel bad or tell you to go clean up when you're telling them that something is truly bothering you. Don't shut down. I promise you there's somebody that will listen. Fuck, I will listen. Because I know what it's like to not have nobody to fucking listen to you. I know what that's like. This shit ain't cool. My floor is open for my boys. Oh, that was just a different time. I'm sick of that shit too. A different time needs nuts. Everything needs nuts. I don't even have nuts. These nuts, nigga. To the grown fucking men that are out here doing their thing and every fucking avenue seems like a shut door. I love you. Please don't think that nobody cares about y'all, because we do. We can't help you if you don't open your mouth. That's for all of y'all. You can't expect people to read your mind. I know you're having trouble reading your own mind, but I love you. It's getting dark out here, so my quality is shit, and we just gonna deal today. We 45 minutes in and we still have battery life. You young girls, you little boys, you little girls that are still just trying to fit in, baby, your lane is special. And I love you too. Y'all got to realize something. And you will in your own time. I'm confident, and I'm speaking that into your existence. I'm speaking life over you. You gonna figure it out. And when you figure out just how great your brand of greatness is, you're not gonna want nobody else's shit. Fuck everybody else's shit. It's for them. You don't want, little Sally Sandamander. You don't want her shit. Her shit. Her brand of greatness might just be tuna and fucking mayonnaise, but it's for her. You don't want little biracial kid Karen over here. You don't want her brand of greatness. Her brand of greatness is calling the police on people. That's her brand of greatness. Do you want that? That's not you. That's not gelling with your reality. Your brand of greatness may be making cakes. Your brand of greatness may be talking to people and sharing your experiences. Your brand of greatness may just be walking outside and being able to take a fucking deep breath, knowing that I made it through another fucking night. You are enough. You are enough. You got to know that you are. And for you mealy mouth motherfuckers that think everything's a fucking joke, everything's a fucking trend, I really truly hope that you don't ever encounter losing someone to that battle. There are so many people that I don't even fully understand depression. I just know it. We're distant cousins. We done passed by each other way too often, and we done crashed several times. But I don't even truly fucking understand it. I didn't even understand when it hit me. I was young. I was in middle school when that shit hit me. Just to be teased and treated like I was fucking crazy. And I wasn't. Because I was dealing with a bunch of ignorant, not in a mean way, ignorant fucking adults. They didn't know. And instead of getting the help, I was told, XYZ. I'm glad I made it. Because now I get to sit here and talk to you. I get to tell you that the shit that you see online that is mocking your experience is fucked up. And you're not the only one that sees it, because Auntie sees the shit, nieces and nephews. Auntie sees it. And it is infuriating. It's infuriating. Infuriating. There it is. Infuriating. Got it. I got it. And judge your mama. I'm a little tongue-tied because I'm mad and my mouth's a little dry. Y'all, I love you. And whatever deity or whatever you believe in, I say God loves you. And you can tailor that to, because I know what I believe in ain't gonna be what somebody else believes in. And I'm gonna respect that, because I ain't one to tell somebody how they fucking what. I love y'all. I really do. And black people, I love y'all. Therapy is good shit, because you get to talk to somebody that's outside the shit. Outside this shit. And I'm gonna tell you something else that nobody else really talk about. Sometimes you're going to have to break up with your therapist if that motherfucker is not doing what you need. I'm not saying that there are bad therapists. Actually, yes, I am. There are bad therapists. I haven't encountered any, to be real with you. But I've read the stories. I've heard the stories. I've talked to people that be like, I had to switch. And that's okay. Because just like your fucking antidepressants might not work and you might got to find another one, sometimes you got to find shit that's compatible for you in order for you to get through your struggle. But the struggle and the decision to fight comes from here, comes from within, it comes from you. You got to make the choice to fight, because your friends and your family that are pushing you to do so, they can push you and they can push you, but if you never take that first step, you can't be mad at them, because they're trying to help. They are. They're trying to help. So don't be upset with them for what you aren't willing to do. Don't be upset with them. You gonna move in your own time, yes. But if they are showing you that they care, don't listen to that thing inside of you that's telling you that they don't. Oh, they're only helping because that thing will talk some shit, baby. It'll talk some shit. Oh, they don't really care about you. They're only doing this because of XYZ. Ask yourself, did they say that? Did they show me that? Or is that just what this thing is saying? Is that what the intrusive thoughts are saying? Is that what the fucking sticky venom shit is saying? Ask yourself that. Sometimes you got to test a thing to see if it's real, see if it's true. Test a thing. Don't be deceived by it. And all of this, I'm telling you, I know, because I've been through it, is easier said than done. And I know that there's going to be somebody that's not going to necessarily agree with this. And that's okay. But I hate seeing that shit. I hate seeing things mocked in such a way, that things that have killed people mocked in such a way that you got youngins on these apps that might understand that they're going through depression, only to see people making fun of it and being like, well, damn, it doesn't matter. What are you showing them? I know we get on these apps and I'm a motherfucker to play all day, okay? I don't take these apps seriously, to a degree, right? But a lot of the shit, I don't think when people, and it's mindless shit, I don't think that people realize when they post that the audience isn't just people their age. It's any and everybody that's on there that's got a fucking account. Yeah, you can put on filters and all this other shit, but YouTube has showed me before that I got my kids watching Paw Patrol videos and shit on YouTube Kids, but some fucking sick asshole has dubbed the audio to say some pretty insane shit. There's always a hole in the boat somewhere with being online, because it is such an open playing field. But there's babies on these apps, y'all. There's youngins on these apps, y'all. Teenagers, young adults. Some of them a little more sensitive than others. Some of them don't share the same sense of humor. And I'm real big on, again, if you don't like something, scroll. But I've lived long enough to see cyberbullying become a thing. And kids not being here anymore because of it. They're already struggling with depression. Now you gotta put bullying on top of this shit. See, I was the type of motherfucker that, yeah, I got bullied, but then I got to a point where I was like, I'm about to run hands. It took me a minute to get to that point, but I ran hands after a while. And you couldn't bully my little brother because I'm running hands like scrap nigga. But like, very far and few in between. But not everybody's built like that. Just because somebody's more sensitive than somebody else doesn't make them a weak individual. It just means that their compass, it points a different direction from yours. I might be the motherfucker that scrap. My brother is more logical being. That doesn't make him weak. It just means that he got a little bit more time to think than I do because I was a hothead. So, oh, well, we scrapping, motherfucker. Let's go. But I'm not. I don't think that makes anybody weak. I don't think struggling with depression makes anybody weak. I don't think it's something to mock. I don't think it's something to shh, under the rug. I don't think it is. I think it's something that needs to be faced like anything else. Any other illness. I think I'm going to wrap this one up. I think I got my point across. I'm a little nervous because I don't want this to be misconstrued in any way, shape, or form. Because I'm vouching for my folks that are depressed. I'm vouching for my folks that are struggling. I'm vouching for my folks that are literally fighting for their shit every day. When I say I see you, I see you. And I see the bullshit you go through. And I see the bullshit online. I see the shit. I see the shit. It's so fucking tacky. But it's okay. We gonna shut that shit out. We're gonna shut it out. We're gonna shut it out. We're going to do our best to filter that shit. We are going to surround ourselves with positive affirmations. We are going to, when we get our strength up, when we get to that point where we can, we are going to go seek help. I'm speaking this for y'all's future. I want to plant that little seed in your mind. Like, yeah, you are never too fucked up to go get help. I don't give a fuck what your mind is telling you. You're not too fucked up. You ain't so fucked up that somebody can't help you. And you ain't too fucked up that somebody won't love you. Ignore the bullshit as best you can. Find you a community that's going to build you up and love on you. And ignore the rest as best you can. It's impossible to shut every little thing out. But filtering, like I said, there's always going to be holes in the boat somewhere. But filtering what you take in, those are small steps you can take in battling that fucking monster. You got to pick at it. If you got to pick at it to get to where you're going, then pick at that shit, baby. You're going to be all right. Then pick at that shit. Pick at it. Keep picking away at it until there's nothing left. Fight your battle in the way that you need to fight your battle. But just keep fighting. Keep fucking fighting. It won't be like that always. I'm not saying that it'll go away completely and that you won't have, a merry-go-round where you swing back around and you out and ran into each other. I'm not saying that. But I know that for those of you who have to fight it and it's a reoccurring thing, I know that you know it, so you know that you can beat it. Some of y'all, it might be a one-off and you beat it, more power to you. But remember to keep that same compassion for those that are experiencing it either for the first time or for the 15th time. Just because you're not going through it anymore doesn't mean that your way of doing it works for somebody else. We got to remember compassion is a big thing. And for those of y'all that are fighting for your friends and have your friends back and you feel yourself getting weary, do not feel guilty if you need to step away. Because it is hard. You are not a therapist. You are a friend. You are a part of a support system. A lot of people will be, oh, no, no. We can't do that to people. We can't. Sometimes people need to take a break and come back. And for those of y'all that have lost somebody to that monster, it's not your fault. It's not. It's not your fault. If you know you did everything you could, and even if you could only do a little, it's not your fault. Sometimes that battle's just, it's hard. It doesn't mean that they were weak. They got tired. I know people, that's selfish. It's selfish. That's selfish. You don't live in their mind. Can't rationalize an irrational thing like depression. You can study it. You can arm yourself. But you can't rationalize it. You can't rationalize that shit. Black men, those of you that are struggling with depression, there is no fucking shame in getting help. There is no shame in this. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Your prior generation folks, men don't do this, men don't cry. Fuck them. Nephews, uncles, daddies, if you need help, it is okay to reach the fuck out. It ain't nobody business if you go do it. If you feel like you need to go do this shit discreetly, baby, go do it. If you know you need help, baby, go do it. There's no shame in that shit. There's no shame in being fucking depressed. It may feel like it, but the reality of what you're going through is not a shameful fucking reality. You need help. It's okay. Don't let these motherfucking people with screwed up fucking minds themselves lead you down a path of pride because they don't want you. Oh, that's a weak ass nigga shit. Weak nigga, woo woo woo. Don't let anybody stop you from doing what you feel you need to do to get better. If you feel like you need to get help, seek help, any of that shit, please do. Please do. If you don't feel well and you feel like you need to go check yourself into a hospital, please do. If you don't feel like you can do it and you need somebody to take you, please reach out. And again, for you raggedy motherfuckers that make light work jokes and all this other stupid shit, stop it. Because them jokes and shit, this shit eventually catch up to you. You might run into a motherfucker that has seen your shit and they might whoop your motherfucking ass. People in real life on the other sides of these screens, so on my side of the screen, not the side that you're looking at, the side this over here in my car. If you are shaming somebody for being depressed, stop it. If you don't understand, then educate yourself or shut the fuck up. That's always a fucking option. That is always a fucking option. Shutting up, there's nothing wrong with stepping back if you don't know something. Don't be a fucking keyboard therapist giving people, it's just all in the mind. Duh, nigga. We know. That's why it's hard to get out. It's in the mind. It's okay to seek out and receive help for mental illness, for depression, for anxiety, for schizophrenia, for postpartum depression and psychosis, for all of those different things, the diseases of the mind. It is okay, because even though people can't see your illness, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. I was supposed to cut it like 4 minutes ago, but you know how Auntie is. This concludes episode 5 of the Auntie's Tired podcast with your tired ass auntie niece. I don't think I said this earlier, but those of you who don't understand and mock what you don't understand, I do love you too. I might want to, go upside the back of your motherfucking head, but I do love you. And I want you to educate yourselves on the things that you don't understand. Depression isn't just the only thing, but if you truly don't understand something, you guys run around all day with a mini fucking computer in your hand, and the only thing that you do is record yourself. Educate yourself. Test the thing. Do the work to not be an asshole. And for those of you who are struggling, I love you. If you ever need to talk or you ever want to DM me, my Instagram is niece the artiste, so that's niece NESE _ THE _ ARTEEST, niece the artiste on Instagram. My DM is always open. I might be a little unhinged. I might be a little wild. I might cuss a lot. But I want y'all to know that I feel like my heart is in the right place. This one's a weird one. Again, this is not meant to offend anyone. It's not to make people feel like they're victims or anything like that. It's just me trying to make sense of the shit that I see. And a lot of these are just me trying to make sense of the shit that I see. You might not like it. You might click off of it. That's okay. Your ass still came and visited. And for that, Auntie's happy. Thank you for coming to visit. All right, y'all. I am going to answer the phone call that I so rudely rejected because I was talking to y'all, but this was a little bit more important at the time. So, again, this concludes episode 5 of the Auntie's Tired podcast. Car Session Tink, Nasty Mike, say bye. I love y'all. It's okay. Please go get help if you need it. There's no shame in it. Until next week for episode 6. We in this thing. I'm going to make next week lighter. I promise. I owe y'all one. Okay. Love you. Bye.